Well, I kind of just stumbled into this box of C96 Mauser broom handle parts, and this video is just kind of recapping what I did with it and some future ideas. So the broom handle Mauser has always interested me. It was a very early design for a semi-automatic pistol. It had an internally fed magazine, and it was just very unique in the way it looked and its function. So when I stumbled upon this box of parts, I just knew I had to do something with it and try to create a functional pistol out of all these pieces. Now, much like the Luger, uh, German guns like this back then usually involved a lot of hand fitting. So I had to try to piece together the best pieces that I had in the box and try to make one complete gun. After basically piecing everything together and trying out all the function and everything, I found that I only needed really a couple pieces to be purchased to complete one of the guns. The other items included also I had an extra barrel slide assembly, lower receiver, although the lower receiver had some welding done to it, so it looks like somebody was in the progress or process of working on that one. So I had some ideas on what I wanted to do with the extra pieces, but mainly the video will cover kind of what I had to do to get this one together and functional. Now, a few of the pieces were actually serial number matching, so that means they had been together at one point. So that made fitting a little bit easier than it could have been. She did have a lot of pitting and a lot of corrosion going on, so there were some decisions that had to be made on what I wanted to do aesthetically and structurally. Now, here's another possible idea that I might consider for the extra pieces. Now, the original grip panels were pretty much too far gone to use, at least with my skill level. So I just went ahead and decided I'd go with some reproduction ones. It didn't really make sense to try to source originals with the gun being, a collection of parts and so far gone as far as the corrosion and wear. So I had to start distressing it and contouring it to the frame, and then I even added areas where I would basically add little imperfections and damage to it like it would have received over the years. Now, distressing it was done through a very high tech method of just banging it on stuff and scraping it across different surfaces. This replicated kind of what it would have experienced in a holster and things like that. Here's the extra receiver. It looks like somebody tried welding it and repairing some of the damage on it. So that will be probably something I'll use in the future, probably for not a live firearm. As you can see, the grip frame has just a lot of metal that was lost over the years due to corrosion and age. So that one, I've got some plans for the future, but right now I'm just gonna kind of smooth it out, make it work with what I've got right now. Since this is just about putting a gun together and making it fire, it's not about making it perfect by any means. So now at this stage, I'm trying to test out some different bluing methods to kind of see what looks more original and natural as far as the age and the wear on this particular model. The grips were just still too bright, so I needed to darken them a bit. So I used a few different staining methods and some oil and things like that to try to replicate the years of grime that would be on it. I'm still hitting various areas with pitting and trying to work through that. And as far as that grip, I'll probably come back through at some point and add some welds to give it a little bit more strength, but it was still pretty strong. I wasn't able to make it flex through standard use and things like that. Now, the broom handle Mauser did have a stock attachment option, as you can see on the grip, where you would slide it in there and it would pop in. I do not have one of those, so I was unable to try that fitment. Here I'm trying to work out some of the heavier pitting on the side of the receiver, and I'm finalizing my bluing. Did look a little bit dark here, so that I'm Still debating on if I should lighten it up. And compared to some of my other German guns from this time period, I figured I needed to lighten it up. So I added in some wearing of the high spots and did a little bit of work to make it look a little bit more faded and natural. Here she is, almost done, and I paired her up with my German Luger from 1916. I think they look pretty good together, and took her out to the range, and she cycled the rounds like she was supposed to. It was really neat bringing this one back to life.